How we doing, everybody, and welcome back to the Catalyst. As most of you probably know, Ethereum had a huge run up today, about 6%. With that, I think Matic is going to be the next altcoin that makes a huge push up. In the past few days, we've seen Polkadot, Kusama, and others make big runs. I think Matic is going to be the next one on that list. The reason being, obviously, Ethereum pushed up quite large today, 6%. You can see this giant candle. I think Matic is going to trail behind that a little bit. It's a layer 2 solution for Ethereum. So it's kind of natural that it would kind of grow as Ethereum grows while also trailing behind it. Ethereum's a leader in that race, but Matic will quickly rally behind it, I think. Before we jump into that, got some cool information about Matic and its just user base. So we see here, as of Friday, October 1st, the total distinct Matic addresses was 93 million. On top of that, there was a 2 million daily increase. That is insane. Also, look at this chart. So this is as of a little before. This is probably May or June. Matic had a pretty big bump up. That was probably when it ran up in like the $2 range. And then since then, it has absolutely erupted. It has gone from some number probably below a million up to almost 100 million. And that is the distinct addresses. So this is actually the active Polygon proof of stake chain addresses. You can see this has grown parabolic as well. Earlier this year, we were probably, this is maybe 10 or 30,000, not much more than that. And in a matter of, a few months, we have gone from that and gone upwards of probably close to 600,000 addresses now. Amazing news for Matic. And you can tell in the chart too, we have been in this kind of accumulating pattern where we've been just kind of stuck rattling back and forth inside this giant wedge here. You can even see, a bigger trend playing out where we're bouncing back and forth. So if we did push down, that could happen with a breakout. Or, same pattern can play out, but we could break out a little earlier here. And this could go here and then continue to break out from there. So you see this giant here, this giant wedge. We have another kind of hidden wedge that you can see in this dotted line. We have our major support with this like pinkish bar here, where we've bounced off that quite a few times, especially recently. Let's zoom in here a little bit. I think the next move for Matic is going to be us coming out of one of these wedges, predominantly this big white one here, and then finding some support outside of that and probably staying in this dotted wedge. So we'll come out of this wedge here, maybe a breakout like this sometime in the next few days. So that would be running up into the $1.50 range. So that'd be a pretty significant increase over the next few days. Coming back down to test it, back out of it, and then start to test these fib levels. So we have a fib level at about 140, and then we could break up as high as 170. I think that's probably the next reasonably good price range for Matic, is to get into this 170 range. So somewhere in here where we're able to, still accumulate, flip this resistance as support. So we would come out of this solid wedge here, out of the dashed wedge, find it as support, and then bounce into these fib levels here somewhere. Doesn't obviously have to be exactly like that, but anything like that would be good. So look for Matic to start to get into this range, but before that, look for us to hit this range here at the 140 mark, and then we'll push back the 170 following that. So we have some huge patterns playing out. Amazing sentiment in the market for Matic, I think. The biggest thing is, it's like this sleeping dog. Like, it's there, it's present. People are actively using Matic. Hundreds of millions of people, or accounts rather. There's millions of transactions. The platform is being used. So that will inherently drive the price up eventually. Whether it's now or in a month from now, obviously I don't have a crystal ball. But that level of users on anything, whether it's a video game, a crypto, a website, a social media platform, that level of active users is very, very bullish. And that's why I am huge on Matic right now. We've been very stagnant the last couple of weeks, even the last month since that big dip that we had, mid-September. We've been just kind of floating in this $1.20, $1.30 range, nothing too high, nothing too low in there. And I really, really believe that we're going to start to see us approach this critical juncture here on these wedges as they kind of intersect right here. I think that is going to be a driving point for us to continue up much higher and start to break some of these resistances and hopefully turn the resistance into support going forward. Like I said too, RSI is looking great. We're at about 50 on the RSI. So again, to put that in perspective, the last time we were at 50 in like a bullish trend anyways was down here. And the last time that happened at the 50 mark, we went up to 90% gains on that. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I'll take that pretty much any day of the week. So again, it's going to scale a little differently when we get up higher here. This is what 90% gains would look like though. Testing the $2 range once again, back to all-time highs. I don't necessarily expect that in the short run. Obviously, I think that's possible later in this bull market, but for now, like I said, look here. Look to test, $1.40 to the $1.70 range. I think that's where we're headed next. And hopefully this was informative for you guys. If you have any other input or questions, feel free to let me hear it. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. And hopefully we see a big run up on here for Matic. Peace.